It's been a long time since I had ravioli, y'all, but this is the only way I'm eating ravioli, okay? So this is like mostly everything we're gonna be using today, okay? Right here we have some tomato paste in this Ziploc bag, and in this container we have some freshly cut parsley. So I just have some of that left over, and we got a half of an onion. I always got a half an onion sitting around somewhere. All right, so y'all just jot this down. You already know it's going to be in the description. And then these are the seasonings that we're using. This is all the seasons. This is it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is saute up that half an onion that you diced up. Okay, and then once it gets a little brown, then we're going to add our 1 pound of ground beef. You can use ground turkey. You can use Italian sausage. You can use whatever kind of meat you like. Okay, I'm using ground beef today. Then we're just going to season it with some season all the seasonings that you saw, okay? Garlic powder. Okay, excuse me, y'all. I didn't know that the camera slipped up right here, but it's all right. Y'all can still see. Okay? Onion powder, Italian seasoning, and ground oregano. And then you just gonna cook your ground beef down. Add some minced garlic like halfway through. 2 teaspoons. And then just cook that in the meat. Alright, so once it's looking like this, it's pretty much done. So now we're just going to drain all the fat off. Make sure y'all don't do what I did. Don't put it in the sink, okay? Just don't do that. Alright, so 2 teaspoons of butter. 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. Then we're going to go in with some flour. I don't know how much flour, y'all. That's just a little bit of flour and a little bit of tomato paste and another teaspoon of butter, okay? And we're just going to mix it up because it's going to get real, like, little thick pieces just like this, okay? Now we're going to add our heavy whipping cream. I'm adding half of this container. And then I'm just going to whisk it until it's blended. As soon as it's blended like that, I'm going to add the rest of it. Use the whole thing. All right. So now we're going to add a little bit of chicken broth. I did not measure this, y'all, because I kept adding chicken broth as I see fit. So it just depends on how thick or thin you want it, okay? Once you add some chicken broth, you're going to season it again. These are all the same seasonings y'all use for the meat, okay? All right. Once you have all the seasonings, whisk it real good. Then we're going to go ahead and add our spinach. I didn't use the whole thing of spinach because that was enough. So I didn't measure this as well. Sorry, y'all. But I used about half of that container. Mix it up. Add some Parmesan cheese. Then we're going to add some mozzarella cheese. Obviously, this is leftover cheese, but normally I would just use half of each bag. Mix it up until the cheese is melting. You're going to turn this all the way down on low because you don't want your cheese to burn, okay? Once the cheese is melted, go ahead and add your meat back in. Get that well coated with the sauce. We're going to add a little bit more chicken broth because I noticed that, see, it was like a little too thick. I wanted to thin it out just a little bit. So this is the perfect way, and it gives it flavor, okay? So now we just boiling our water, adding a little olive oil and some salt. And these noodles right here only need to boil for 5 minutes, okay? These ravioli has Italian sausage inside. And so they just needed to boil for 5 minutes. Then we're just going to go ahead and pour that water off. Now we're going to add our noodles to the sauce. Pretty easy, y'all. That's pretty much all you have to do. Get it all incorporated. And then we're going to add some fresh parsley. And this is how it's looking, y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe.